Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 33 of this the 2019-2020 Premier League season. Now as always, before we get on to this week, let's have a quick look back at how well we got on in week 32.
So last week I had an average week. I got 6 points with one perfect score, that being Man United to correctly beat Brighton 3-0.
And I had a very, very average week, Nathan. I came away with just the 5 points, no perfect scores. Representing the viewers last week was Ferris77, and Ferris came away with 6 points with one perfect score, being the Wolves 1-0 away victory over Aston Villa. So overall now, Nathan, you're on 222 points, I'm on 225, and the viewers are on 206 points. Top scorer of week 32 with a good score, or a great score you could say, of 10 points was the Dugout Football channel.
Fantastic.
So Douglas even, congratulations on that top score. Plus, as we're filming this on Thursday evening, it's just gone 8:15. Liverpool have just kicked off against Manchester City as well, so there are some more points to be had there, I think. But enough of that, let's crack on and make some predictions.
Okay, so first up we have Norwich versus Brighton. Norwich, well, nothing going for them, is there really? Got destroyed 4-0 by a not very good Arsenal team, and that's not something to be proud of really. And then Brighton losing 3-0 to Man United. Norwich, they just seem doomed, and I can't see them coming back with anything really. I mean, their form alone, I think they got the lowest form along with Bournemouth in the whole of the league at the moment. 0.5 points in their last 8 games, which is dreadful. So I'm going to say a Brighton win, and I think it's going to be 2-0, solid away win for Brighton.
Yeah, I'm actually going to tip Brighton in this match as well. I think Brighton have only won one match in their last 12 fixtures. Norwich, where do you start their doom? They've lost 6 of their last 7 fixtures. So looking at the stats, you could say that this has got draw written all over it. Brighton, you could say they've been playing okay, even though they did get destroyed 3-0 last time out. Norwich, they did hit the post, I think, first against Arsenal last week, so if that would have gone in, maybe it would have been a different game. But yeah, in the end they succumbed to all that pressure from Aubameyang and co. I think Aubameyang scored 2 in that match. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory to Brighton in this one.
And saying that, Norwich don't actually have the worst form in the league.
No?
Villa do. 0.25 points in the last 8 games.
Terrible.
That is awful.
Okay, so next up we've got Leicester City against Crystal Palace. Now Leicester, their form has fallen off a cliff at the moment.
They've been playing
losing
dreadful
against Everton 2-1 last time out, and Crystal Palace themselves haven't come back from the enforced break too well at all. They've lost their last 2 matches. Burnley picking up a vital, you could say, a win last time out, and yeah, prior to that Crystal Palace didn't show up at all against Liverpool. So in this match, can Leicester City bounce back? You know, they've only won once in their last 6 fixtures. They really need to win. You know, they're teetering on the edge of that, so those sort of Champions League places now, so they need a victory. I think they will gain a win in this one. I think they're going to take all 3 points, just because Crystal Palace have come back, you know, so badly from this enforced break. So I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win to the Foxes. Maybe we'll see Jamie Vardy on the score sheet for a change.
I actually disagree with you. I think Leicester's woes are going to continue for a bit longer. I think Palace are going to push for this one. I'm going to say a narrow 1-1 draw.
A narrow 1-1 draw?
No, I can see this one being a 1-1 draw. Just, I can't see anything going. Leicester will probably break into the last minute, but they'll just mess it up, I reckon. So it'll be 1-1. Next up, we've got Man United versus Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth, awful. Didn't show anything in Newcastle. And when was the last time Newcastle have won 4-1 away? I mean, what is going on there? And then Man United is putting in some great form. Can't even remember the last time they lost now. One of the best form in the joint best form in the league. Can't go wrong with that at the moment. So yeah, Man United are just going to dominate them. Bournemouth, defence like in Cullender, don't have that playmaker. or don't have many playmaking abilities. So 4-0 Man United.
Yeah, I think Manchester United are going to win this one as well. I'm not going to go for a 4-0 victory though, Nathan. I think Bournemouth really need to shore up their defence, and I think they will slightly in this match, but I think they're going to lose this one 3-0 to Manchester United. Hernandez, absolutely fantastic. He should have he could have had a hat-trick in the last match. He did score 2, hitting the post as well. Man United could have had a hatful. I know they did win 3-0 against Brighton, but it could have been 5 or 6 in the end. So yeah, Man United 3-0 victory for me. Next up, we've got Wolves at home against Arsenal. Now, Arsenal seem to be picking up a couple of results. They've won their last 2, 4-0 obviously against Norwich, and prior to that was a very good away victory against Southampton.
Yeah, shocked everyone, that is.
Wolves themselves currently in 6th position, winning the last 3 matches. Last time out, Wolves beating narrowly Aston Villa 1-0 away from home. So this one's going to be a tight match. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to go for a Wolves victory 2-1. I think they'll just sneak this one. You know, Arsenal may turn up. I know that Arteta, he's trying to change the whole philosophy of the club down there. It's going to take them a while to do that, and
going to be a few years rebuilding.
Well, maybe not. Yeah, probably could be a few years, but yeah, he's got a big rebuilding job on his hands at Arsenal, does Arteta. So I think the fans, can they be patient for the Gunners? I don't know if they can be, but yeah, a 2-1 victory. Jimenez, I know he didn't score in his last one, but he did look sharp.
Yeah. I've gone exactly the same as you, 2-1 to Wolves. I don't think Arsenal will turn up though. I reckon they'll slide in a goal, but the likes of Traore, Jimenez and Neves and all those for Wolves, I think they'll just overpower the Arsenal defence, or the comedy club at the back. Louise and Mustafi, I mean, what is that? So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves. Next up we've got Chelsea versus Watford. Watford got destroyed by Southampton 3-1. Meanwhile, Chelsea lost to West Ham. That is shocking. I mean, looking at their new kit, they sort of predicted it, didn't they? What was that? That was just bad timing.
They
Chelsea
didn't christen it very well, did they?
No, not at all. Frank Lampard's definitely going to want Chelsea bouncing back in this one. And Watford, very patchy. Been very patchy since they've come back, and I just can't see anything going for them. So I'm going to say a 2-0 Chelsea victory.
Yeah, I think Chelsea will bounce back in this one.
Yeah.
Maybe that was a blip. I know that earlier in the season West Ham did beat Chelsea, but Watford, when they play in last week against Southampton, Foster, I don't know what he was doing in goals for that second Danny Ings strike where he threw the ball straight out, and just terrible goalkeeping really. Danny Ings on fire at the moment, really putting the goals away, and he's on the hunt for the golden boot as well. But yeah, Chelsea, William grabbing a couple of goals, one of them a superb free kick I think it was, and the other penalty. So yeah, they'll bounce back 3-1 to Chelsea in this fixture.
Should do.
Oh, and look, Manchester City have just taken the lead against Liverpool, a Kevin De Bruyne penalty. So
Interesting.
Yeah, 1-0 at the moment to Man City. Right, moving on. We've got Burnley up against Sheffield United. Now, Sheffield United humbling Tottenham earlier on this evening, 3-1. Yeah, very interesting. With Sheffield United, we're kind of dropping down the table. They are back up to 7th now after that victory against Tottenham. It's not often that you see a Jose Mourinho side concede 3 goals as well. So yeah, not good there from Tottenham. I think Harry Kane missed a penalty. I'm not sure if he missed a penalty in that one earlier.
That just adds to the bad luck, doesn't it?
Catch the game on that one. It might have been just a goal struck out. It was either a penalty miss or a goal struck out for. This one's a very tough one to call. Burnley find themselves in 10th position, winning the last 2 games 1-0. So there's not going to be a lot of goals in this one, I feel, against the Blades. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'm sitting on the fence.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, I've gone for a 1-1 draw as well. I think, especially with Burnley at home and everything, now Sean Dyche is going to want to push up the table, try and avoid losses as much as they possibly can. And yeah, 1-1. Next up we have Newcastle versus West Ham. Now Newcastle What a win, 4-1 against Bournemouth, even though Bournemouth haven't been playing too well, but that's a good result for them, I thought. And then West Ham also getting a really good result against Chelsea. No one saw that coming at all, really. Earlier in the season, Newcastle also won 3-2, and that was away as well.
Yep.
Newcastle never do well in London either. So that was quite a surprise, but I don't know, I just fancy Newcastle's chances in this one. I think that the West Ham will just go back to their old losing ways. So 2-1 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you. I think the Magpies will come away with all 3 points, but I think West Ham are going to make it difficult for Newcastle in this fixture. However, hearing some West Ham fans, they haven't been actually playing that badly. They've just been conceding silly goals. Newcastle last time out had a hatful against Bournemouth, and it could have been so much more than that. I think Hayden blasted over from about 6 yards out, I think it was, and so they could have had a bigger margin. Definitely. There. So Newcastle really looking good at the moment. So West Ham, can they get anything here? They're on 30 points at the moment. Okay, Aston Villa in the final of those 3 relegated or relegation zone clubs, just 3 points behind them. So Newcastle are going to need points pretty sharpish, but I don't think they'll get here. Newcastle 2, West Ham 1 for me in this one.
Interesting.
Next up, we got the champions. There's a lot of Liverpool fans like to remind us up against Aston Villa. Home banker. It's got win over this one. I know that Aston Villa haven't been conceding that many goals now since they've come back from the enforced break. However, they're not scoring many.
They're not the worst form in the league as well.
They only now. Okay, it was only a 1-0 defeat against Wolves last time out, but Liverpool, I know they're losing at the moment, but they are playing Manchester City. I'm going to go for a humdinger of a match for Liverpool in this one, and I'm going to go for a 4-0 win. Is it Nyland? They got Nyland. He really needs to practice his throw-outs as well.
Terrible.
Jota, if he'd got that on target, it would have been more than 1 goal.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same as well. Liverpool going to destroy Villa, but I don't think it'll be as much as you anticipate. I can see Liverpool playing the kids a lot more now that the season's finished, and try and get each of them a Premier League medal, because of course play 3 matches in the Premier League, or start 3 matches, or come off the bench for 3 matches, then you get a Premier League medal.
Never used to be like that. It was something like 12 or 16 you used to have to play.
Yeah, it's only 3 now, apparently. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys, but
early in the season, Villa only lost 2-1 at Villa Park against Liverpool.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and so I think it's going to be a little bit less. They're going to probably play the kids, so 3-0 to Liverpool. Next up, we've got Southampton versus Man City. Southampton, good win against Watford last week, 3-1, even though Watford's up and down at the moment, haven't come back from the break well. Then Man City, currently beating Liverpool. Don't know how that long that's going to last. Liverpool could score now for all I know it, but they're definitely going to want to come back from losing the match before to Chelsea, especially. Pep's going to want to make a statement for the end of the season. So I'm going to definitely say a solid 3-0 Man City victory. Yeah,
I think Manchester City are going to win this as well. I think they will concede in it. I'm going to go for a 3-1 away victory to the Citizens. Southampton are looking very good at the moment. Danny Ings is on fire. They've won 2 of their last 3. That defeat, it was against Arsenal, wasn't it? Yeah, it was 2. But beating Watford, Watford look, Pearson sort of turned it around there, but they're sort of in free for Watford, and they're looking down the barrel of a gun really at relegation. But back to Southampton, Man City. I think Manchester City are going to have too much for the Saints. 3-1 to the Citizens. And the final fixture of the weekend is Spurs against Everton. Spurs
getting destroyed,
being humbled 3-1 by the Blades, who were on a bit of a downer themselves. Everton getting a fine, an expected victory over Leicester, the Foxes, from myself. It's going to be tight, this one, but I'm going to go for a 1-0 away victory to Everton, the Toffees, in this one. I think Mourinho's going to have to shore up that defence. I think they will work on it in the next day or 2 before this game takes place. I think it's on Monday evening, so over the weekend. But Everton, Richarlison's looking good. Yeah, Calvert-Lewin. They've got some good players there. Everton. Add a couple more, and they could be challenging for the top 6 next season, I think. But, a 1-0 away victory to the top.
Yeah, and saying that as well, Ancelotti has openly come out saying that in a few seasons he wants Everton challenging for the Premier League title. Of course, especially with the massive budget that they always seem to be getting, and they're not doing anything with it. I mean, they're probably getting bigger budgets than half the teams up there, and they end up finishing mid-table. So yeah, Ancelotti's probably the right man to sort it out and for them to push for the title, but I can't see any goals in this one at all. Spurs not going to win it, especially with the impression they gave earlier. And Everton did get a good win against Leicester, but then again, I just can't see many goals. 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tight too. So that concludes our predictions for week 33 of this, the 2019-2020 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. If you'd like to play at home, like many of you did last time out, then just copy and paste them into your comments. And like Douglas James Horn, the Dugout Football channel, you could get a shout out in the next video. Tomorrow evening, around about, I don't know, it might be 7 o'clock, might be midnight, I'm going to be picking somebody at random to represent you guys, the viewers, for week 33. See how you could, see if you can get that total up from 206 points currently. But so Nathan, before we go, is there anything you'd like to add?
So to my channel, link in description below.
And are we live streaming?
We are live streaming this week, basically at 3 o'clock. Around 3 o'clock Saturday, Cardiff City versus Bristol City, the 7-side derby. The live stream is happening. Be there, guys. We had a mad stream on Tuesday night. I think we're on about 1.2k views for the last live stream. The last time I checked, peaked about 60 viewers in the last stream.
Very
donations, good. Amazing stream. Be there, guys, so we can have more viewers.
And it was announced earlier today as well that Cardiff are going to be live on Sky a week tomorrow. I think it's Friday the 9th, something like that. Friday the 10th, sorry, where they're playing Fulham at Craven Cottage. So plenty of football.
As well.
Another live stream a week tomorrow.
Live stream a week tomorrow. I thought that was going to be on the weekend.
Fantastic.
As well.
Yeah, fantastic. So guys, if you did enjoy this video, please leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and enjoy the football over the weekend. It's an utter feast at the moment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.